welcome to another Divine Quantum podcast. Today we're very excited. We have the honor to chat with Master Sri Akarshana. Also known, some people might know him as the Yogi with the Lamborghini. He's an international figure, well known for his success in the spiritual and law of attraction. And welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Bia, and thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you. Would you mind sharing with us a little, and our listeners, a little bit more where you're from and how was your childhood like, and a little bit more about your background that led you to who you are today, where you are at right now in life?
So I was brought up in the UK. My parents are from Hong Kong. So they went to UK when they were very young. I was never the academic type, so I wasn't very good at studying. I left school about 15, 16 already left. And I started working in burger vans. And because my parents came from a poor background, so they always said, you got to make money, and you got to make money and you'll be successful. So the next maybe 8 years of my life, I would then go on to opening multiple restaurant businesses and doing different investments, and then making good money. So by 24, 25, I was financially free, had all the cars, yachts, houses, all that. But I wasn't happy. And so I found happiness then in doing charity work. So we have an orphanage out in Kenya, and we have a school out there. We've been going out there for 12 years now. And so I found that I wanted to give to the world. I found happiness in doing that. So my idea of what purpose in life is completely shifted from making money to giving. And an interesting dilemma happened in the second year of the charity is I ran out of money because I was giving all my money. And then that came to another realization of mine is, why am I separating money from giving, or why am I choosing one or the other? And I came to the realization that, hey, wait there a second, if I make more money, I can use money to do more good and help more people. So then that's when I realized, hey, if I can use money for good, then that's even better. I can serve my purpose at the same time. So I continued my entrepreneurship journey, and I continued giving. And while on that journey, I was asked to speak at many, many conferences and interviews for quite a few years. But I was the shy kid growing up, so it was tough for me. I was always scared. I was always fearful of speaking. But I realized that it was a fear that I needed to overcome. And so I went for training, found myself a coach, a mentor in communication. And then I did about 72 gigs, 72 events in the first year, and started speaking around the world about success and personal development and business and wealth education. And as I embarked upon that journey, I came across this whole spiritual world. And I realized that we live in an interesting world where there's a very interesting divide. I don't know if you girls see this as well. You have the materialistic people, the people who think that if I buy another car, maybe I'll be happy. If I buy a bigger house, I'll be happy. If I buy more material, I'll be more happy. But they never really find happiness. I've been down that route before, because it's short-lived, because happiness is from within. Yeah. And I find they're lost. The material people are lost. But what I found in the spiritual world is the spiritual people are, I guess, equally lost, but in a different way. They are lost in a spirituality. So they're all about energy, peace, happiness, giving. But a lot of these people who I recognize want to give to the world, they don't have anything to give because they're stuck in a job. They're trying to pay their bills. They can't figure out the material side. And there's always this taboo topic when it comes to spirituality and money. It's like, oh, you shouldn't talk about money because you're spiritual. Yeah. And so what I came to the realization was, and a lot of people have this saying, but I don't think they understand it fully. They say that we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. In fact, we are spiritual beings having a temporary human experience. But why is it that spiritual people can say that, but they are still not understanding that you are having a temporary human experience? What does this mean? Don't just be abundance in the mind. You got to also be abundance in the physical, because you are here in the physical. So if you can incorporate both, that is real abundance. So that's why my message for the past, I think it's been about 9 years now, has been to, what I say is, give the love to the material people, because that's what they need. And give the wealth education to the loving people, the spiritual people. And I believe if I can bridge that gap, I believe that's the answer to world peace, because I think that that can change the world, you know?
That's beautiful.
The both together, right?
Yeah, that balance, the bridging both. Where do you think that separation came from? Because, you know, there is that the sayings like money is the root of all evil and all these things. Do you think that ego, because we hear a lot about you can't, have your ego in the way, and maybe that's what's triggering people to not want money, because that's ego. Like, what is your input on that? Like, how people can find a balance on that?
I think it's actually very, very straightforward, because people, our minds are programmed for negative. Like it's not programmed to make us very successful or very rich or very happy. It's not, because it's always programmed to be skeptical, because the mind's function, the purpose of it is to protect us. So that's why I will always think negative first. If I say, okay, I have a knife, what is your first thought? Oh, dangerous. Because this is how the mind works. It doesn't think, oh, this knife is going to operate and save someone's life. You would never think that. If I was holding a knife, you would suddenly think dangerous. And this is how the mind works. It always thinks skepticism first. In the same sense, when people say money, people think, oh, evil. But the real question is, are there people out there who are making a lot of money and giving and helping a lot of people and saving lives? The answer is yes. How are they doing it? With money, you know? And it's a very interesting thing, because a lot of the time when we run events, we can have like 500 to 1,000 people in a room. And I would ask the question, I say, is there anybody in this room who think that money is not that important? And some people will raise their hand. And I always say to the people, I say, those of you who have raised your hand, I say, I'll tell you what to do, okay? We have a charity box at the back there. Go to the charity box and give all of your money to the charity. And you know, they look at me shocked. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. But I'm like, you just told me money's not important, so why you don't give it away? If you can't give it away, surely money is important, but you've got this level of this subconscious limiting belief that's around money, and that's what's happening. But if we really come from true spirituality, what is spirituality? Spirituality and consciousness is saying, having the awareness to understand how everything in existence is. I always say to people, don't look anything as good, don't look at anything as bad. Just be the observer. How God would be, how the universe would be, observe how everything is. Nothing is good, nothing is bad, because it's like this, a knife, good or bad? Well, it can be good, it can be bad. Sales, if somebody's selling to you, is it good, is it bad? Well, if they sell something that changes your life, it's very good, right? If you take money, is it good or bad? Money is purely an amplifier of who we are. If you have a big heart, that's why I'm saying, if we give money to the spiritual people, I think we can change the world, because the spiritual people just want to heal the world, you know? I get a lot of spiritual people. I say, what is the purpose? They say, my purpose is to heal the world peace. And I say, so how are you going to do that? They say, I'm going to send my healing energies out there. And I say, wait, one moment. I'm not saying your healing energies don't work, and I totally believe in that. But you also need to understand that there is a kid on the other side right now who is starving, needing food, and the food requires money. If you can just take money and buy food and pay for food, they will be alive right now. That's simple, you know? So if we understand that money is not good, it's not bad, it's just a magnifier of who you are. If you're a bad person and you got more money, you probably do more bad things, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
How can people, get rid of those subconscious like blockages. And like, for example, you, because I don't know if you came from a wealthy family or, but you are a self-made millionaire, right? How did you had any blockage that were limiting you from? How did you become a millionaire at such a young age? Did you had those blockages, and how did you overcame it?
There were loads of blockages. So
Yeah.
many blockages, because my parents came from like their parents they grew up in farmland in the border of China. So all they could think is saving money, and and don't spend too much, and we can't afford this, we can't afford that. So my upbringing was like that. Although my dad said making money is important, but still there's limiters there. Oh, they're more smarter, that's why. Oh, they are lucky, that's why. So we're different, So this is how I was how I was brought up. I think I would say there's I would say there's three core factors that changed the negative or limiting beliefs. I say the first factor is I did some processes because I had a coach and I had a mentor back then who would help me reprogram subconscious mind. This is what we do now with other people as well. The same process using cognitive reframing, because how it works is very simple. Basically, what we are wanting to do if we're looking at reprogramming a subconscious mind is you're wanting to remove some negative memory.
Yeah.
And how memory works, because memory is stored in a stem of the brain called the hippocampus, and then it's stored with emotions, which is logged in by the amygdala. So the amygdala logs in emotions and logs into the hippocampus. So that's how memory works. We remember everything that is emotional. So if we understand that, it's actually very simple, because most of the logging, our conditioning, happens from 0 to 7 in that theta brainwave. And so when we're 0 to 7 years old, we'll be able to recall some memory. If we do timeline therapy, we can go back and we recall a memory around money. And then we take the pain and we switch it to pleasure. If we change that, our dialogue will change moving forward. I'll give you a simple example. When I did the activity, I recalled my first recollection of the word money. I was 5 years old. I was standing in McDonald's. My mom was there. I was very happy because it was my first McDonald's party and my friends were there. And I remember I was waiting and waiting and waiting. I was looking around and I couldn't see Dad. I looked up at Mom. I said, Mom, where's Dad? And she said, Dad's working. I said, but why is Dad working? It's my birthday. And she said, Dad needs to make money. That was the end of the story. It didn't finish anything, no explanation. That was it. Dad needs to make money. What does a kid understand? I don't know how to analyze that. All I know is Dad chose money today instead of me, his son. He chose money instead of love. That's all I could understand from it. So who would know that a simple thing like that would make me feel like, oh, money means no love. Oh, money means separation. Oh, money means, so there's already some problem there. Yeah. And so through childhood, we all have situations where mum and dad argue because of money. Then it logs into our mind that money is bad. There's a lot of different things that happen. But if we can revisit that timeline, we can shift that pain to pleasure. When I shifted it, I went back to the timeline. I went back into that situation. 5-year-old me looking at mum. Mum says, oh, dad's making money. And I asked again, I shifted it to pleasure. I said, why? She said, because daddy loves you and daddy wants to give the best to you and daddy wants to provide for you. He wants you to get all the toys that you want for your birthday. That's why he's doing it. Then I was like, oh, now money is good. I come back out of the meditation and my mind just shifts because that changes the memory. So number one is cognitive reframing. Number two, for sure, has to do with environment. If we surround ourselves with people who are understand money better, it will change us because we are the product of nature and nurture. And then the third thing is actually through affirmations. I used to do it all the time. Although in my mind, because like you said before, when we say money is the root of all, everyone knows that last word. When we say money doesn't grow on, everybody knows that last word. And that's the problem. But because we've heard it time and time again. So how do we change it? Well, reaffirm with new affirmations. Money is good. Money is powerful. Money is beautiful, right? Money comes to me. Money flows to me easily. All of these things. So affirmations work a lot. Yeah.
Thank you for
No,
sharing
thank
that.
you,
That's like,
thank you. Because Brazil is the same. You've grown up, third world.
here is
Yeah.
like you gotta save money, like you
Money,
have
no grown up in tree.
for me it was you have to work hard for money, right? That's a big
Yeah, that's right.
to really work hard. So coming to that, to reprogramming the subconscious mind, a lot of people they're listening, they're like they're big into law of attraction, but also we hear from a lot of people that they do the affirmations, meditations, and sometimes it doesn't seem to be working, or sometimes it feels like their lives is getting even worse than what it was before. Like, what would you
Was
say?
the manifestation, right? Yeah.
When it comes to money.
Well, there's a lot of points. Yeah, there's a lot of points to manifestation. I don't think it's just so simple as affirmation. Because if we break it down like this, how do you manifest something in your life? I always say it's exactly the same as how you manifest your breakfast in the morning. It's like that. The first thing you'll need to do is you'll need to think your thoughts. So your thoughts need to be aligned, right? You've got your conscious thoughts, which people usually don't have a problem about because they're consciously thinking, I want to make money. Great. It's the subconscious, right? And the subconscious programming, as we said before, will help. So that's the first thing, thoughts dealt with. After you think about having breakfast, what do you need? Your emotions need to be aligned with having the breakfast, meaning your desire needs to be there to have the breakfast. Otherwise, you won't get the breakfast. So in the same way, your desire, second thing is, I desire it. So how much do you desire it? How much do you feel the emotions? Sometimes you ask people, and I've had this in many of our seminars before. We ask people, we say, okay, what is your goal? What is your dream? They say, I want to manifest a Lamborghini. And it's like, you sound like you really want it, It's like, any more emotions to that, I want to manifest $10,000 a month. And it's like, it's not going to happen. Actually, I can feel it straight away because sometimes when you hear people talk about their dreams and goals, their eyes are glowing and they're smiling. And you need to understand the why. The why is the driver, because when you have a why, that creates the emotion. That's the energy in motion. So I always ask people, I say, why do you want the goal? And then they say, because I want to. No. Why? Really why? Because I want to, and at the end of the day, a lot of people, it will come to because I want to look after my family, because I want to provide for my kids, because I want to look after my parents, whatever it is. And when it goes deep into family and love, that why, now you feel that feeling, that amplification of the emotion. When the emotions are big enough, then the third point comes along, the action, the motion. Then people take action. Otherwise, a lot of people procrastinate. And this is the thing as well. A lot of people, I don't teach people law of attraction much. I teach people manifestation. And why? Because manifestation is manifesting something into your life. Law of attraction is attracting an opportunity in front of you, but not necessarily claiming it. Because I see it like this. It's like law of attraction is saying your vibration is aligned with the thing that you want, therefore universe will show it in your reality. But it doesn't mean it's yours. And a lot of people think that means claiming it, but it doesn't mean claiming it, because claiming it requires action. And so what actions, aligned actions, are you taking to claim the manifestation, right? If you're making a breakfast, then you order the breakfast, you use communication, you pour the bowl, you cook it, whatever. So there needs to be the right action. After action, what do you need to do? Well, the next thing is, okay, are you trusting? Are you relaxed that it's going to happen? Or are you doubting? Because sometimes people take action.
That's the hard part.
Right? Because some people, they're taking the action, yet at the same time, they're thinking, what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? you know. But I always say to people, you know, sometimes people they say to me, they say, yeah, I've been taking the actions, but you know, I have doubts and I have fears, and sometimes I think that it might not work, you know. And do you know what I say to people? I say, it's not going to work.
Big.
And sometimes they're shocked. They're like, why are you saying that to me? You're supposed to be coaching me. I am coaching you. I'm telling you, you are telling me you have doubts and you have fears. I'm saying if you have doubts and you have fears, it's not going to work. It's very interesting, this doubts and fears thing, because people speak it like there's a choice. Like there's a choice to fear or there's a choice to trust. What I always say to people, I say, it's not a choice. If you know there's not a choice, what would you do? It's like this. It's like, imagine if I had a baby, okay, that I need to look after. And imagine that I know that I've got no money left and I need to look after the baby, otherwise the baby's going to starve. So now then I learn one law, and that is called the law of attraction, right? Not choice of attraction, not opinion of attraction, law, like it's fixed. There's no other way around it, law, right? And then imagine I go to a coach and I say, coach, how do I attract more money in my life, right? Because right now I'm fearing and doubting. And my coach says to me, if you fear and if you doubt, guess what will happen? You will have no money and your baby will have no food. There's no choice. So what do I do? Okay, now imagine I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, I have fear. And I'm like, wait there a second. But if I have fear, then the baby will not be fed. What do I do? Oh, I need to trust. Now I say, but I don't trust. But why don't you just pretend to trust first? Okay, I trust the universe. I trust the universe. I trust it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And then what's going to happen is your voice is going to come up and say, no, it's not. Okay, say it again. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And then it's going to come. No, but what if this happens? No, but what if that happens? But what if that problem happens? Don't entertain it. The problem is people entertain it. The moment you entertain the negative limited voice here, it amplifies, because what you focus on amplifies. So I don't entertain it. Instead, okay, I hear it, but I'm looking this way and I'm going to focus on the positivity. That's all it takes. And people think, oh, but that's really tough. Yes, of course. It's tough at first because you've been entertaining this so long that it's always there. But if you stop entertaining it, guess what? Slowly, because energy loves attention. If you don't entertain it, what will happen? Slowly, it will become quieter and quieter and quieter. And what you entertain will start to amplify. If I keep entertaining, I trust, eventually I will fool my mind to really believing that I trust. And if I fool my mind to believe that I trust, it will show up. And the more it shows up, the more I trust, because seeing is believing. So it helps build that fourth part as well of trusting. Now, the final thing after trusting is, this is another problem with manifestation, the final one. You trust that you can make the breakfast. It's going to pour into the bowl. The milk isn't going to spill on the floor. You trust that if you order the breakfast, the person's going to deliver it. You trust. Now the breakfast is in front of you. This is the final problem that some people have. It's in front of them. But they won't allow themselves to claim it. Why? Because they say, I don't know if I'm worthy of this. I don't know if is it okay for me to receive this? You know, this is what a lot of people are like, and people don't realize that a lot of people, especially spiritual people actually, a lot of them are very good givers, but not very good receivers. But they don't understand that receiving is a part of giving, because this is the flow. It's energy out and energy in. If you are not a good receiver, you don't have the capacity to give to more people. And so you have to learn to be a good receiver. And how we easily identify people like that, because I used to be one of those people. That's how I know. And that's why for the first few years, it's very hard for me to actually keep any money, right? And the problem is because I was giving all money out, but I wouldn't receive any help from other people. And you can identify these people very easily. These are the people who, when they go out, they like helping people. When they help people, they're very happy. When other people say, hey, I'll help you, they say, no, it's okay. I'll do it myself. When somebody says, hey, I'll carry your bag for you. No, it's okay. I can carry it myself. When people say, hey, I'll treat you to the meal. No, you can't do that. Let me pay. People like that, there is some blockage of receiving happening. And so we can identify that very easily. And if that is the case, then you need to first put your hand to your heart and tell yourself, hey, I honor myself. I am enough. I deserve this. What comes for me is for me. I need to be a good receiver. You know? So I think these 5 things is the principles of manifestation.
Wow.
Oh, thank
Speechless.
you.
Yes.
That's so touched my heart.
Yeah. You put everything so well into perspective, and I think that definitely going to bring some clarity to our listeners. So, is there
Wonderful.
signs that the universe, or sends us when we are in the right path to manifestation, or there is no such thing?
Many, many signs.
How can we
Many signs.
identify them? Or how can we know that that's a sign and that it's not us stripping out, or
Yeah. I think, I mean, the most powerful sign will be through intuition. But the problem is that most people, it's not that they're not intuitive. Actually, every person on the planet has intuitive powers. The only problem is when overthinking happens. Then they get confused between, is it my mind making up, or am I actually feeling this, So that is the problem. That's why if people want to increase intuitive powers, we always teach people the right forms of yoga, breath work, meditation to calm the mind, silence the mind. Your senses will heighten and you'll be in better connection with the universe. But if we don't go deep, because that is not like, if I say that, it's not likely that everybody will be, oh, I know what to do now, because it takes practice. But if we look at very simple and common signs that happen, is number 1, clearing. So when something gets taken away from us, whether that be a relationship, whether that be a job, whether that be a business deal, whether it be losing some money, whether it be something gets taken away from us, it's a very big sign that something is coming its way. And the reason behind that is because we have a space. When things leave the space, it clears new space for new things to come in. So the universe is always working with us, even at times when it doesn't feel like it. It's still working with us. So sometimes when we lose things, we don't lose things because energy is never lost. Something else will need to come in. So that is a very good sign. A second common sign that people see is a lot of repeated patterns. For example, repeated numbers. When you're constantly, you pick up the phone, oh, 111. Oh, you pick up the phone, oh, 2222. Oh, you look here.
Oh my gosh.
Every day we're like
111, 22, Oh.
So those ones and those two, the ones is all about alignment. The twos is all about the acceleration and the quantum shifting. So it's very fast. Everything's very fast paced. When you're seeing all those, it's a good sign that you're on the right track towards your manifestations. So these are the 2 main things that I would say that if we look at common things, yeah.
Thank you. And I would like to ask your opinion on that. What do you think about, some coaches out there, they teach people how to manifest their ex back, or like, someone that they used to be together with. What are your thoughts on that? Like, do you think that we can really interfere on people's decision? Like, I'm gonna, bring my ex back to stay with me, or what? Yeah. What do you
Okay. So that's what you mean. Actually, it's like this. Okay. Manifest the law of attraction is working on a metaphysical level. We are saying by shifting our vibrations, it will connect to somebody else's vibrations on a metaphysical, and try to persuade that energy to be aligned with our energy. That's basically what law of attraction is doing, right? Now, the question you're asking is it okay? Maybe the word is ethical, or is it right, or is it wrong to do that? But the thing is like this, though. On a physical level, we will try anyway. So is it not right that if somebody wants to get their ex back, They will do whatever in a physical to try and get the X back. They will still use words to manipulate. They will still use gifts to whatever, promises, whatever they will do. They will still try things in physical. So the question is, first of all, let's not address the metaphysical. First of all, address the physical. Is it right that somebody physically goes to speak to somebody in a certain way to try and get them to be back with them? Is that right or is that wrong? Mm-hmm. It's because you need to understand this. If one, let's say the X, is very congruent with their new path, right? Very congruent and very strong with their new path. Actually, it doesn't matter what you use on this side, they're not going to come back. Mm-hmm. If this X is a little bit here and a little bit here, right? Then you can go with a bit of persuasion and they'll come back. But that's the same when it comes to law of attraction. If their energy is completely congruent with the new path, it doesn't matter how much law of attraction affirmations you do, they're not going to come back. Yes. Right? But if they are also like this, so it's the same actually. The physical and the metaphysical is the same. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, we agree with that. We just want to see your point of view on that, because we see a lot when we open TikTok, it's all about like this technique to manifest your X back.
We're like this, you have your off back.
But let me tell you what it is. In reality, what those people usually need most. Okay, not every single time. We can't say X is bad for everybody. We can't say that because we don't know the story. But majority of the people who are wanting to manifest the X back, a lot of the time, what they really need. I always say what people want and what people need is two different things. But what they really need is self-love. That is what they need. People always by themselves, they feel lonely. And so when they feel lonely, they need their X back. They need love. That's why even not just X, people want to manifest love instantly. It's like, how fast do you need love? I need to manifest love fast. But it's like, why do you need it so fast? You need it in 24 hours, why? It doesn't make sense. Because if you need something, if you need and you need it fast, there must be a void, meaning there is an emptiness. That's why you need. So when you are always empty and you always have a need, but you are empty, what is the thing that you attract? Actually, the thing that you attract is also empty. So that's why a lot of people, they keep attracting the wrong relationships over and over and over again. So what people don't realize is when you have a need, I need them back, right? There is a void. Actually, what you should work on is filling that void first. Fill it with love. And if you have self-love, you have a lot of love. You're just by yourself and you're just in love. Life is beautiful. You're grateful. You're happy. If you can be in that vibration, guess what you attract? You attract real love your way. Right. So that's what people need to hear.
You need to love yourself first, forgive love.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So, going back a little bit to your spiritual journey, can you share with us the process of when you went to Himalaya and how you became master and that story behind all that?
In 2019, mid-2019, I was on a plane journey and I was doing a gig and a big event in Taiwan. And one of our team members, her name's Harriet, she came to sit next to me on the plane and she looked at me for the first time and she asked me, she said, do you know how you always teach people that they need to set their clear goals and have big goals? You always teach people that. I've never really heard what your goal is. And I paused for a moment, and for the first time, I said, actually, Harriet, to be honest with you, I don't have any goals. And she was in shock. She said, you don't have any goals, but you keep telling people they need to set goals. And I said, actually, I haven't really spoke about this before, but I'll tell you what it is. I don't know what it is in the past few years. I've been feeling like I'm done. And she said, what do you mean? I said, like, I don't know what they call it. I've been going on this spiritual path, and I think people call it transcendence or samadhi, or I just feel like soon the universe will take me away. And then she was in shock. And when she was in shock, a few team members started crying. And when I seen them crying, it put me into shock because I was like, no, don't cry. I'm not depressed. I'm not upset. I'm not angry. I'm not suicidal. That's not what I mean. I feel so complete. I feel like I've completed my mission on this planet. I feel like I've done everything I've ever wanted to do. I feel like I've experienced everything I want to experience, and I don't have any more I want to experience. And I just have this weird feeling. I don't know what they call it, but they say that, when the spirit is done, it will leave. So I just have a feeling that it's going to be a nice, peaceful leaving, and the universe will take me soon. That's what I said. And the very, very interesting thing is, on that trip in Taiwan, it must have been maybe around 5 to 7 days later, I got a message on my phone from a disciple of a Himalayan yogi. His name's Grandmaster Aksha. So I got a message from Rebecca, who was the disciple. And in that message, it said, you came to the retreat with us 2 years ago in Himalayas. I said, yes. He said, Grandmaster would like you to join him in the Himalayas again next month. And I was like, my mind straight away thought, oh, they want to sell me another retreat. Okay. So that's what my thought was, right? Then I was like, okay, give me the details. And she said, well, there's not much details. He would like to take you, and he would like you to be his first disciple to receive the blessing of spiritual master. And I said, I don't understand. Me? I said, I've met this guy twice. I've trained with him no longer than 15 days. I'm really bad at yoga. He's got millions of disciples, and why me? It was a very strange thing. And I looked at it, and my skeptical mind came in again, because like I said, that's how our mind works. So my skeptical mind came in and thought, oh, they want to sell me a one-to-one training, so all this skepticism came in. And then I was like, and it was very interesting because at that point I was already like I said before, I was already done. I was like, I don't really care anymore, whatever, just experience whatever, whatever left. So I just said, okay, let's do it, and I was expecting her to send me an invoice, but it never happened, I was like, okay, let's do it. And I said, so how does it work? She said, well, you're going to have to take 1 month off next month. I said, 1 month off? I said, but I've got my whole organization and everything running. I said, how's that? She says, well, that's how it's going to work. Can you do it? Then I always teach people, I always say, if there's an opportunity, always make it happen, because it's for you. So I said, okay, I'll make it happen. So anyway, come the day I fly off to India, and the first day and the second day was exactly as I imagined. My worst nightmare. And I'll tell you why. Because we arrive in the studio with Grandmaster Aksha, and it's one-to-one training yoga, very tough yoga. He does like power yoga and Himalayan yoga. It's like really tough. This knee on this shoulder, this whatever on this. And I was like, oh, and then my body after, and this was 6 hours a day of physical training with a lot of theory training as well. So it's very intense. My body by second day was already like, oh, I said, I don't know if I can do this actually. And imagine no mobile phones, no technology, no nothing for the full duration, for the full 30 days, right? And so many strict requirements, diet requirements, no onion, no garlic, no meat, no egg, no loads of things, no mushrooms, just loads of different things, no tea, no caffeine. So it's just like very, very strict. By day 2, I remember saying, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't want to be a yoga instructor. That's not my goal. And I said, I don't know why I'm here. Then day 3 came. And I thought, I didn't know what I was practicing, because I don't know about you girls, but back then, whenever I used to still practice meditation, if it was long meditation, I would fall asleep. And the quite funny thing is, the first 2 days, we sit there, imagine, and there's no escape, because if it's class, I can hide. But when it's not a class, it's just Grandmaster and me, there's nowhere to hide. So I'm sat there, and suddenly I'm closing my eyes, and he's still talking. And then my head's just like dropping like this. And then, and then I'm thinking, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I said, every single day I need to sit there for 2 to 3 hours meditating. I said, every time I'm trying to keep my back straight and my head's just falling asleep, you know? So that all happened. And then, so day 3, I was already dreading day 3. I was dreading the whole 30 days. And I was keep asking, how am I going to get through this? Day 3 happened. We did the yoga training. Open up this. This is an energy. This is linked to the 3 channels on the back of the neck. Back of the neck linked to the pineal gland linked to the third eye. Still didn't have a clue what that meant, but he was telling me all this while we were training and moving the body. And then he says, use this breath work, move it up. Okay, here, see the light, observe. And I was thinking, here we go again, another meditation. I'm going to fall asleep. So try not to fall asleep. So I'm sitting there, trying not to fall asleep.
Sorry to interrupt you, but one question. You're flexible in the time?
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah. Yeah, terrible at yoga. But anyway, I'm there. And I'm thinking, don't fall asleep. Okay, it's 3rd day. Don't fall asleep this time. So anyway, I sit there. He says, visualize a light. So I'm like, okay, light is there. Then he says, okay, but allow yourself to enter. And he says, can you see it? Is it bright? And what I said was, no. He said, and then he said, what about now? Then it went, and then very, very fast, going through this very, very fast tunnel, like this, very, very fast, and very, very bright, blinding bright. And I enter and it's blinding. It shocks me so much. I open my eyes and I'm looking around. I said, I seen the light. And he sat there maybe around 5 meters away from me. I said, I seen the light. And he said to me, yes, but this time I opened it for you. He said, in this journey, you need to learn to open it yourself.
Wow.
That got me hooked. Like, I was like, I want to know, where did I go? What was that thing? What was I experiencing? What is going on? That got me hooked. So from day 3, whatever he told me to do, hang upside down, do this, do that, I was just looking forward to that meditation because I was like, I'll do whatever you tell me to do to open up my energy and move my energy around. I'll do whatever you tell me to do. I just want to know what I'm experiencing, what that thing was, because I've never experienced anything like it in my life before. And so anyway, day 4, day 5, it continues to go through the journey. While I go through the journey, I'm more and more fascinated because every single training is done in dimension traveling. And I couldn't believe it because when he first said it, it was always so abstract. He would say to me, okay, when we go through today and then you go down the tunnel, I'm going to meet you on the other side. Whenever he said that to me, I was like, really? Yeah, I'm going to meet me on the other side, you know? but when I did it and I go down the tunnel and he's there and I'm thinking, and then my mind, the complete mind like messed up because my mind's like, am I imagining this, or why is he speaking to me inside here? This is so weird, right? So imagine we go in there, and this is my next biggest aha, because there's many shifts throughout the journey. But my next biggest aha was when I couldn't, you know, lotus pose where you have to fold your 2 legs upwards, right? I could never fold the 2 legs on top of each other because one knee would hurt, it'd be paining. So I would try for years. I couldn't fold my legs this way. And then what he said was, okay, we'll do training outside. And I looked outside. I said, outside? He said, no, outside. And then we go through the training. He said, I'll meet you on the other side. We go in, go through there, and we spend some time there. I see him. We're next to the river. We're doing some training. And then what happens is we come back out. And it felt like, you know, sometimes when you have a dream and it feels like you're gone for a week, like loads of things happened. It felt a bit like that. Then I came back. When I came back, I feel him tapping on my shoulder, and I come back, and I'm like, oh. And then he says, okay, you felt like you were gone a long time. I said, yeah. I said, felt like days. And he said, yeah. So you must think it's hours then. I said, I don't know how long it was. He said, look at the time. I looked at the time, and it was around 15 to 20 minutes. And I looked at that. I said, that's strange. And he said, time works different in every dimension. And I was like, what is this talking about? Then he said, okay. Then he said, go into lotus pose. 1 fold, 2 fold. And I'm like, I said, what is happening? I was very, very fascinated with this. I remember on that evening, because every day he would ask me to journal and document my whole journey. Remember on that day, I got this download from all the practices. I said, minor tweaks in outer dimension equals major manifestations in inner dimension. What does that mean? Do something small outside equals big manifestation inside this physical.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked with that philosophy, and I realized that everything I wanted to because I was already teaching law of attraction for a few years before that. Now my whole idea of law of attraction completely shifted, because I used to always teach people conscious and subconscious, physical, law of attraction. Now the whole paradigm shifted, because it's conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. Now I'm all in with superconscious, because superconscious is what people refer to as God, what people refer to as universe, what people universe the big divine energy. I'm saying, if I know now how to connect with that energy and work with that energy, why on earth am I going to take 10 times the amount of time trying to do it in physical by myself if I can work with the energy outside? And so from that moment on, that's why today a lot of the teachings we do when we teach people yoga for manifestation is teaching people how to manifest outside and bring that energy in, and everything moves maybe 10, 100 times faster like that. Yeah. So there's a synopsis. I mean, there was a lot of different things obviously in the journey, but that's a brief of what was happening. After the 30 days, I got this initiation. We went through the whole pilgrimage, obviously, and all the training, and then he gave me the blessing of being his first disciple to get the blessing of spiritual master title, and he gave me the name Sri Akarshana, and which holds a lot of power and energy.
What is
So yeah, it's abundance and attraction. So actually, yeah, Shri is like abundant, very abundant. Akarshana is attraction. So it's an affirmation in itself, actually. So the name is like an affirmation. It's a very, very strong name. But how it ended on that, from day 25, from day 25 to day 30, how it ended was talking about when we were going outside dimension, it was no longer about manifesting for me. And this is something he made very clear. He said, from today onwards, you are no longer manifesting for you. You are manifesting for universe. And when he said that, I didn't understand what it meant at the time. But then what happened was, when he took me outside and I seen, he took me to see 2020 health scare, 2023, 24 recession, see all of that, like future dimension. And then it was very clear, because I could see myself and what I was doing in future. So when I came back, I was full of purpose. I knew exactly what I needed to do. So when I came back to the UK at the time, I knew exactly what I needed to do. I needed to spread this message to the world and help people, because the world, and this is what Grandmaster referred to, happens in cycles. This is classed as the dark age right now, with the negativity happening around the world and all the chaos. And when the dark age is happening, it needs spiritual conscious people to come together in peace, in power, to come together to make the world better, to heal the world. And so that's why when I came out of the mountains in 2018, 2019, a lot of people thought I went crazy, because I came out of the mountains, I held an event, and I remember at that event, I actually said to people, I said, dark age is here. I said, be careful. There's going to be health scare. There's going to be crisis. It's going to happen soon. Everybody needs to look after your health and look after your wealth. And that's what I was saying. And at the time, everyone thought he's gone. Maybe it's meditating in the caves have made him a bit crazy, you know? But it's very interesting, because now, fast forward, I remember after 2020 happened, because it all happened very quickly, actually. Straight after the mountains, earthquake in Philippines happened. Then I think there was riots in Hong Kong, then coronavirus, then lockdown, then Black Lives Matter, then just everything nonstop, and then war in Ukraine. But it's been nonstop since. But yeah, it's been a beautiful journey just watching it now.
Beautiful. Make me
beautiful.
emotional, you know.
Yeah.
That's so
So you
amazing.
refound
Beautiful.
your new purpose, and would you say that now you don't have that feeling that you are ready to, leave?
Oh no, I can't go anytime soon. There's too much work right now. Too much to do.
Speaking of purpose, how can people find their purpose? Because we see a lot of people lost. Is there such thing as finding the purpose, or how
Yes.
can they find that?
Yes. I love how Grandmaster usually answers this question, so I'm going to answer in the same way. I'm going to pass the message on. It's, if you want to find your purpose, equip yourself first. That's what he always says. Equip yourself first. Non-equipped people will always be lost finding purpose. Equipped people will never feel like, I don't know what my purpose is. I'll give you a very simple example, okay? Let's say, for example, you come for a dinner party to my house. Imagine I'm cooking. And then what happens is you will come into the kitchen and you will say, Master Sri Akarshana, anything you need help with? And I will ask you a question. I'll say, well, what, you can cook? Or you say, no, don't know how to cook. I say, you can cook vegetables? No, don't know how to cook vegetables. You know how to wash the dishes? Well, not really, never done that before. And what would I say then? I would say, then maybe just take a seat in the living room, just wait. I'll make the food, it's okay. Then what will happen is you'll sit there wondering, what am I doing here? What's the purpose? Everyone else is helping and doing stuff. I've got no purpose here, right? You'll feel like you have no purpose here. True?
Yeah.
Right? But the reason you don't have purpose there is because you are not equipped to be there. You have no skill set there. In exactly the same way, I could look at my organization. We have marketers, we have admin, we have email. We have all these different segments. Okay, somebody comes, they say, "I want to help. I want a job." Like, who would feel most purposeful in my organization? Who would feel least purposeful in my organization? The most equipped, if I know marketing and I know admin, I know emails, and I know how to do this, I know how to do that, they will feel they'll have a sense of purpose. Every single day, they'll know exactly what they need to do. The person who is very limited, I only know that. How can they find their purpose? Because they cannot be purposeful. So in the same sense, okay, let's look at what purpose means, because when people are asking about purpose, they are not asking about, if for example, you ask me right now, you say, what is my purpose? I'll say your purpose is to interview right now because this is a podcast show. If you were, taking your kids to work and you say, what's my purpose? I'll say your purpose right now is to take your kids to work. And then your question will be, no, that's not what I mean. What I mean is, what is my, when people say higher purpose, I say, easy. Higher purpose is when you are serving a purpose that is beyond yourself. It's not for you. If it's for you, it's just yourself. You're just doing something for yourself. If it's beyond yourself, it's even more fulfilling, because this, according to human needs psychology, that's the highest need, the need for contribution you're satisfying. So when we contribute beyond ourselves, we're serving a higher purpose. So to answer the question now is very simple. The question is, if you could change the world in any way you want to change the world, if you could change humanity, if you could give to the world, which area would you give in? What are you called towards? Now, everyone will have something. Everyone, I want to help children. Okay, cool. I want to help stray dogs. Okay, cool. I want to help, there'll be something that they will want to help, right? But the question how you need to ask the question, because otherwise some people say, I don't know what to help. But if you ask the question this way, you say, if money wasn't the problem, if resources wasn't the problem, if knowledge was not the problem, if time was not the problem, if you had time and money and everything, if you had all the money and all the time right now, and you could help anyone in the world, where would you go? Who would you help? Okay, cool. Now they'll say, I'll help these people. Okay, cool. So if you help those people, would you be happy? The answer is yes. Will you feel it's fulfilling? The answer is yes. Will you feel purposeful? The answer is yes. Okay, great. That can be your purpose. They say, yeah, but, and I know your but. Your but is because you are not equipped to do that right now. If you equip yourself to do that, then guess what? You found your purpose and you fulfill your purpose.
That's a beautiful explanation. So in depth. Yeah. Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Right now you are in Dubai. You're living in Dubai.
That's right. That's right.
What made you shift? What made you move to Dubai? Just out of curiosity.
How long you lived there?
1 year now. It's been just over a year. Yeah. This month is 1 year. Yeah. Oh. But yeah, Dubai is the place to be. It's the place to be for people who want growth. It's the place to be for people who want to impact more people. It's the place to be right now. It is the energy vortex has shifted here. It's very huge right now. And it will be like this at least for the next 3 to 5 years, at least. And so what anybody does in US or what anybody does in UK or anywhere else in the world, if they did in Dubai right now, everything will be amplified, at least for the next 3 to 5 years, because the energy is here. That's why you will see doesn't matter if it's Hollywood A-list celebrities, so many people moving here and buying properties here. You see a lot of the influencers, a lot of the big names moving out here, doing events here and everything. You see big organizations all moving it. Everyone is moving here. It's multicultural and everyone is moving here right now. While there's more and more people move here right now, the energy will continue to build and continue to expand. Right now, pretty much everywhere around the world, there's war, political problems, there's problems everywhere right now. In Dubai, there's no problems right now. And so the energy is a complete different energy here. So because of that, we are here and we can serve our purpose and we can reach out to a lot more people here right now, right? Globally. Yes. Now, we will always have a base here. We've just set up the biggest yoga meditation center here in Dubai. So we're going to have a base here. So we already have a base here. We're going to keep the base here. I believe probably in maybe 3-5 years time, something like that, we may shift or expand a base then out in US and out in different places. But for now, there's too much trouble happening around the world. So yeah.
That's very interesting.
You need to go to Dubai.
Yeah, we need to get to Dubai. Thank you.
Yeah, you girls should come. And when you come, then you can use our facilities, come to the center. It'll be good.
You come in Hawaii before? No.
Never know.
No.
Yeah.
Never.
Have to,
it'd be nice to go sometime.
It's beautiful here.
Yes.
Master, if you could leave one message to the world, what would that be? Only one. Like if that were to be your one message.
Always act in love. Always act in compassion. Always act in kindness. Find any way at any time to serve. Every moment, try to find a way to serve. Try to find a way to smile. Try to find a way to help someone. Always focus on giving. And if you keep focusing on giving and smiling and helping people, right, eventually, because this will all go into this is your karma, it will all go into that account. And everything is accounted for. My master always says, there are no words that go unheard. There are no actions that go unseen. Universe is always watching, and it is accounted for. And everything will naturally come back to you. But you got to have that pure intent from the bottom of your heart that you want to make a difference in this world. Feel that love, feel that compassion, and just spread that word with many, many people. Spread that energy because many people is possible.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate.
Thank you so much. I appreciate for your time. And it's a beautiful message for
everybody, for your wisdom. You're very very honored to have you in our podcast today, and we value your time so much, your wisdom, and yeah.
Mahalo.
Yes.